Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Easy English. I'm Emma, and I am so happy to have you here with us for another episode of our podcast. Today, we are continuing our series, Everyday English Conversation Day 2, and I have a very special guest joining me today. Please welcome Leo.
Hey, Emma. Thanks for having me back. I'm really excited to be here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Leo, though I'm feeling a little bit cold. And that's actually perfect because today's topic is all about winter. We're going to talk about the weather, what we wear, what we eat, and how we survive those freezing months.
That is a great topic. Winter is one of those seasons that people either love or hate. So I think we'll have plenty to talk about.
Definitely. But before we get deep into the snow and the cold, I want to remind all our listeners to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow and ensures you never miss a lesson.
And don't forget to follow Easy English on our social media platforms too. We post a lot of extra tips there.
Yes, and if you're looking for quick lessons, we have shorts and clips available in the description below, so make sure to check those out after the episode. Now, Leo, let's get into it. When you think of winter, what's the first word that comes to your mind?
Honestly, freezing. That's the first word. Where I live, the temperature drops really fast once December hits. What about you?
For me, it's cozy. I know it's cold outside, but I love the feeling of being inside with a warm blanket and a cup of tea. But you're right, freezing is a very common way to describe the weather. In English, we have so many ways to say it's cold, don't we?
We really do. Instead of just saying it's cold, you can say it's chilly, which means it's just a little bit cold. Or if it's really bad, you might say it's bitterly cold or it's biting outside.
I love that expression, biting. It makes it sound like the wind is actually hitting your skin. Another one I use a lot is nippy. Like, it's a bit nippy today, you might need a jacket.
That's a good one. And when the temperature goes below zero, we often say it's below freezing. That's when you start seeing frost on the windows and on the grass in the morning.
I love the look of frost, but I hate scraping it off my car windshield. That is the worst part of winter mornings for me. Do you have to deal with snow where you are?
Oh, absolutely. We get quite a bit of snow. It looks beautiful when it first falls, like a white blanket over everything. But after a few days, when it turns into slush, that dirty, half melted ice on the side of the road, it's not so pretty anymore.
Slush is a great word for our learners. It's that mixture of snow and water. And we can't forget about black ice. That's the dangerous one because you can't see it on the road.
Definitely. You have to be so careful driving or even walking when there's black ice. It's basically a thin, transparent layer of ice that makes everything incredibly slippery.
Speaking of walking outside, we should talk about clothes. How do you stay warm, Leo? Are you a layering person?
Oh, 100%. Layering is the only way to survive. I usually start with a base layer, like a thermal shirt, then a sweater, and then a heavy coat on top. If I just wear one big jacket, I feel like I'm still cold underneath.
I agree. I always tell people that bundling up is the key. To bundle up means to dress very warmly. You need your scarf, your gloves, and of course, a beanie or a woolly hat.
I always lose my gloves. Every single winter, I lose at least one glove and end up with a mismatched pair. It's a tradition at this point.
That's funny. I'm the same with umbrellas. But in winter, it's all about the thick socks for me. If my feet are cold, my whole body is cold.
That's a very good point. And when you come inside from the cold, there's nothing better than thawing out. Do you use that word?
Yes, to thaw out or to warm up. It's that feeling when your fingers finally start to feel normal again after being outside for too long.
Exactly. Speaking of being inside, let's talk about winter activities. Some people love winter sports like skiing or snowboarding. Are you into any of those?
I wish I were that brave. I've tried ice skating a few times, but I spend more time on the floor than actually skating. I'm more of an indoor winter person. I like to call it hibernating.
Hibernating, just like a bear. I like that. I actually enjoy a bit of sledding if there's enough snow. It makes me feel like a kid again. But I agree, there's something special about staying in.
It's the perfect time for reading books or watching movies. And the food, winter food, is the best. It's all about comfort food, right?
Yes, stews, soups, roast dinners, things that make you feel full and warm. And we can't forget about hot chocolate.
With marshmallows, that's a must. Or a hot apple cider. There's something about a hot drink that just makes the winter blues go away.
The winter blues. That's an interesting phrase. For those listening, that refers to feeling a bit sad or tired during the winter because the days are so short and it's dark all the time.
Exactly. It gets dark at 4 p.m. sometimes. That can be really tough. You go to work when it's dark and you come home when it's dark. It feels like the day disappeared.
It really does. That's why I try to catch as much sunlight as I can during my lunch break. Even if it's cold, just seeing the sun helps.
That's a great tip. Actually, before we continue talking about how we handle the dark days, I want to take a quick break to check in with our audience.
Good idea. We want to hear from you guys. Tell us in the comments which country you're watching from.
We absolutely love reading your comments and seeing how far our Easy English community reaches. Is it winter where you are right now, or are you enjoying some summer sun? Let us know.
It's always so interesting to see the different climates our listeners are in. Okay, Emma, so we were talking about the short days. Does the weather change your routine a lot?
It does. In the summer, I'm very active. I go for walks in the evening. But in the winter, as soon as I get home, I put on my pajamas or my loungewear, and I don't want to leave the house again. I become a bit of a homebody.
Homebody. That's a great word for someone who enjoys staying at home. I'm definitely a homebody in the winter too. But I will say, one thing I love about winter is the holidays. Even if you don't celebrate anything specific, there's usually a very festive atmosphere in the air.
I agree. The lights in the streets, the decorations, it makes the darkness feel a bit more magical and a bit less depressing. And window shopping is always fun during the winter season, as long as you're bundled up.
Definitely. Though I usually end up going inside the shops just to use their heater for a few minutes.
We call that taking refuge from the cold. Another thing people talk about a lot in winter is flu season. It seems like everyone gets a cold or the sniffles this time of year.
Oh, tell me about it. I've already had one cold this year. You hear people coughing and sneezing everywhere. That's why we always say, wrap up warm so you don't catch a cold.
My mom used to tell me that all the time. Don't go out with wet hair or you'll catch a cold. I don't know if that's scientifically true, but I still follow her advice.
I think every mom says that. It's one of those universal winter rules. But honestly, even with the cold and the flu, there's something nice about the change of pace. Everything feels a bit slower in the winter.
It's a time for reflection. Since we are talking about everyday English, I think it's important for our listeners to practice these words in context. Like, if you're at work and you want to start a conversation, talking about the weather is the most British or English thing you can do.
It really is the ultimate icebreaker, no pun intended. You can just say, "Can you believe how cold it is today?" And people will talk to you for 10 minutes about it.
Icebreaker. I see what you did there. For our learners, an icebreaker is something you say to start a conversation in a social situation. And using the weather is perfect for that.
Exactly. You could say, "I heard we're supposed to get some snow this weekend." Or, "I'm so ready for spring, I'm tired of this wind." It's very natural.
Another thing I've noticed is that people's moods change. Some people get cabin fever. Have you heard that one?
Oh, yeah. Cabin fever is when you've been stuck inside for too long because of the bad weather and you start feeling frustrated or bored. You just need to get out.
I get that around February. By the time February hits, I'm usually done with winter. I'm ready for the flowers and the green grass again.
February is the hardest month for sure. It's usually the coldest and the excitement of the holidays has passed. But hey, it's the shortest month, so that's a plus.
That's a very positive way to look at it, Leo. I like your optimism. Now, before we wrap up, let's go over some of the key points and vocabulary we've used today.
Great idea. We talked about describing the weather using words like chilly,
nippy, bitterly cold, and freezing.
We also mentioned slush, which is dirty, melting snow, and black ice, which is the invisible ice on the roads.
For clothing, we used the phrasal verbs bundle up and layer up, and we talked about beanies and thermals.
And for feelings, we had the winter blues for when you're sad, and cabin fever for when you're bored of being indoors. And don't forget being a homebody and hibernating.
That was a lot of great vocabulary. I hope everyone was taking notes or at least listening closely to how we use them naturally.
I'm sure they were. It's all about hearing these words in a real conversation rather than just reading them in a dictionary. That's how you really learn to think in English.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure talking about winter with you, Emma. I think I'm going to go make myself a hot chocolate now.
That sounds like a plan. I think I'll do the same. Thank you so much for joining us today, Leo. It's always great to have your perspective.
Thanks for having me. See you next time.
And thank you to all our listeners for tuning in to EZ, English for Every Day. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us keep creating these lessons for you.
Don't forget to leave a comment below. We want to know your favorite winter activity or your favorite winter comfort food.
And if you want more, make sure to watch our other videos on the channel. We have a whole playlist for this series. Also, check out our shorts and reels on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. The links are all in the description.
Stay warm, everyone, and keep practicing your English.
See you in the next episode. Bye!
Bye.